Hello everyone, welcome back again. So first and foremost, who don't know me, I am the 𝐒𝐫𝐫𝐨𝐦, founder of MADCAPT Limited, which is Amazon service-based agency to help brand scale with our proven result-driven system. But today we have a very special guest on our podcast who's going to share a very deep down insight about Amazon Creative and the CTR image conversion rate. So please welcome our great guest, Vadim Petrov. Hey Vadim, how are you?
Hi, nice to meet you. And yeah, really excited for this conversation and thanks for inviting me. Yeah,
Yeah,
happy
perfect.
to
So
help you guys.
please start with your brief introduction, how you can start your journey in Amazon and how you can proceed it.
Uh, so it's a question how to start basically on Amazon. That's yeah.
How you can start your journey at Amazon.
Okay, I see. Well, um, basically it's about finding the product and going, finding successful product, also a product that ideally you would be also passionate about and that you want to bring to life. And I guess it's also about bringing value to the world and changing your
Yeah,
life. I guess having a
yeah,
strong motivation behind starting any business
yeah,
is a great starting point. And then if you have strong passion and motivation for what you do, I think the rest will follow.
yeah, perfect. So would you start as a seller or you start with your Amazon agency?
hmm I was Amazon seller myself for 2.5
Yeah,
years. Then I successfully exited my brand in 2019, and I
yeah,
dedicated my time and passion, uh, for doing image optimization for Amazon sellers.
yeah. Okay, perfect. So let's start with our basic introduction about Amazon creative solution. So would you please tell about what's the most important thing about Amazon CTR image and why it's crucial for any listing?
Um, about all images in total, or about the main
Yeah,
image?
only our basic man image or how it is important for any listing.
hmm Well, first of all, images in general actually easier products that people will buy, and I think they deserve as much input, as much thought as you are putting into product development. So this is your representation of the product online, and people cannot touch it, they cannot smell it. So all they have is images and some descriptions. So
Yeah,
obviously, this is the main attention point that people going to be focusing on. And based on what they read, based on the feeling they get interacting with your listing, they will decide if they add this to their carts, if they're going to purchase the product. Um, so you have this short gap, uh, time gap where they're interacting with your listing to convince them. That's where the main image basically drives traffic to your listing,
yeah,
and overall presentation of your listing, other
yeah.
images, premium and plus, that contributes more to conversion. So
So
both, yeah.
yeah. So how we can describe about what's the main image have a, important feature and the other image have a different feature. Like we are crafting 7 images for our listing. So what's the main thing we can add in our main image, which is our CTR image? So would you add something here?
So the question is about impact, or what can you do?
Yeah, impact. How the main image impact is different than the other listing images.
Mhm. Yeah, so main image is the one that will appear in search results, and that's gonna drive traffic to your listing. This is the first choice dashboard that people are faced with, and depending on how it looks like and how it looks in the contrast with other images on the page, That's going to be a decisive moment for making a click or skipping. Sometimes people looking for a specific design or specific feature, and they would also scan through the images looking for that feature. So it's good to understand who your target audience is, what they want to see, and making that choice easier for them by displaying these features or displaying these things they're looking for more clearly straight away in the main image, getting that attention. And another way is just basically breaking the pattern, just standing out, not maybe focusing that much on those features, because main image is not there to describe much. You cannot add a lot of text there unless it's on the packaging or on the product. So it just has to like bring attention and stand out on the overall background,
Yeah,
which
it,
is
it's
important.
it's yeah, it's a great point how you can describe to make your main image based on your buyer intent, what they are looking for. Then they are click on your listing rather than other competitor. It is a great point. I really appreciate it. Now let's move on our one more important question, which is how Amazon shoppers behave different from other e-commerce platforms. Just like when we are selling on Amazon, what's the buyer psychology on there when they are going to buy your product and are going to click on your listing. So did
Mhm.
you add something here?
Yeah, I think the main difference, and yeah, we need to understand that kind of shopping experience is different across different platforms. So what's specific on Amazon is that people already familiar with the interface, and they come specifically to Amazon to shop, to buy. So they have specific intents that they want to satisfy, basically. So they're not just going there to window shop. So there's much less percentage of people doing that. So what this choice dashboard becomes is basically uh, a guide for them to kind of basically a guide to what they want to get. So also Amazon is investing a lot to display the search results that people actually looking for, making that easier for them. They implement different sections like bestsellers, Amazon choice, also Amazon recommended. So everything is built to make shopping experience uh, like finding the product that you're looking for as easy as possible. So I would say Amazon shopper is more focused on buying the product and finding what he's looking for, and there's less like window shopping. Uh, so what we want to understand that there are lots of other products and sellers, and they're kind of displayed similarly. So you need to find a way to stand out and attract the right audience in the crowded marketplace, which becomes challenge for us. But for shoppers, they are generally always faced with options. When you guide someone to your website, yes, they don't see other like 10 websites
Yeah,
in parallel to them. So maybe that becomes more personal, more uh, kind of like more deep interaction, where on Amazon people are swayed to check different options even when they come on your listing. Under there is still option for them to opt out and look for other products as well, similar
yeah,
ones.
yeah,
So every shopper will always compare, and this is what we need to be aware of.
yeah, perfect. Because when we searching one product, we have a thousand of product on Amazon, and that's a thing where we can need to stand out. So
Yeah,
let's tell about what the biggest mistake seller make to craft their main image. What the you have seen on the platform, they are making a consistently same mistake to crafting their main image.
I think the main mistake is, and it's coming again, from what I already mentioned, is that we need to understand, we need to look at the whole platform as a choice interface. And if you look at it like that, then we start seeing if we actually stand out or not stand out. So the main issue that I see sellers do, they just follow some common trends that they saw maybe on LinkedIn or somewhere else, where someone says make your product as big as possible, or if it's a supplement, add what's inside the supplement next to the bottle, and that's going to bring increase your CTR. But this is just part of the story. Other thing you need to look at is how your image looks on the background of everything else what's going on around. So the mistake is not looking at your competitors, not comparing your image to what competitors have, not looking at them side by side, but just focusing on your main image. And another
Yeah,
mistake is just having one angle, having one main image to test. So everyone is focusing on making one image perfect, optimizing it. But I would always recommend, and that's what we do, is create multiple main image variations. And I talk about like 10, 15, 20 options that you can A/B test. And only by doing this amount of images, you can actually tell what stands out better. So I would say do not focus on optimizing one. I mean, all these versions, yes. To get to that point where you have optimized image, you have to make a lot of variations. You have to kind of brainstorm, understand, but at the same time, you also have to compare on how this image looks on the background of others. And again, if others start do what you are doing, you have to reevaluate it, and you have to again look at these other 20 options that you created. Maybe it's time to switch back to this other one. So I think it's just constant iteration and keeping an eye on actually what your competitors look like, not who they
yeah,
are, but who they look like and how you look like on the
yeah.
background. Yes.
Yeah, also we can use our A/B testing on our listing to check out which version is really working on our listing and which version is not as capable as is it. So let's talk about persuasion. Persuasion CTR image versus a pretty CTR image, because people think they craft a CTR image which look pretty, but they are not as persuasive and not have a high CTR conversion rate. So how we can make a persuasive listing rather than just pretty and looking feed image? Did you add something here?
Are we talking about main image or generally all images here?
All listing images about 7 images, which include also AP, AB, A plus listing, as well as a premium storytelling about all the
Mhm.
creative I talk about.
Gotcha. So what you're saying basically, once we get that click, how we
Mhm, mhm.
persuade someone to actually make a purchase after that.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think like main tip from me would be to think of your listing as a presentation, not just a single images. That this is about this is lifestyle image, this is that. But think about it as presentation and story blocks. So if you were making like PowerPoint presentation about your product, think about how it would flow like. And ideal flow for this would be as you would be selling products in real life. There's a very good book that actually speaks about this principle. It was written already like 1 century back, Scientific Advertising. And in that book, he talks about um, being a salesman. So when we selling with images, you still need to keep in mind that you're doing salesmanship. So the best story, the best presentation that you can make is that basically is a logical story that builds some curiosity, gets your attention, explains the features, gives enough information about the product, showcases from all different angles, and finishes on some kind of call to action, or desire to get to know more about this product, or like really buy the product already. So we need to think how we start our story, how we convince people, what kind of things we say, and think about it like if you have like 20 features about your product and you stuff it all into images. Think about how it would look like in real life if you would be selling to someone face to face. You wouldn't just bombard them with like 20 features. You would put them in some kind of logical order, and you would use very short phrases, uh, very short claims that would be kind of eye-catching, and build this clarity and understanding and simplicity. So I think not overcomplicate this process. Is just think about the main buyer intent and features that would support that intent, satisfy that intent, and also think about concerns that people might have when buying this product. uh, it's the same like you go into shop, you have a wallet, you want to buy a wallet. I say to you, this is leather, this is genuine leather. You're still not believing me, but if I take my lighter and show you, hey, this is like really genuine leather, you would be more convinced. So that's what I'm saying. In design is the same. The way you build your story is you need to tell features, claims, but you also need to kind of quickly back them up, not put like a huge certificate that this is huge like leather, but just simple things and touches that would make it more conversational, more easy, more clear, that they just go through your images, your content, and uh, it would be super clear to them on why this product really works.
Yeah, yeah, it's really great explanation how you can make it. So let's talk about what is the lifestyle image and what is infographic image. Which you prefer to making your Amazon listing image based on infographic or based on lifestyle image?
Hmm. Yeah, this is interesting division. I
Yeah,
know in Amazon world they still exist. There's two divisions: infographic image and lifestyle image, and actually that comes from photography services that were offering product photography. So when they refer to lifestyle images, these are the ones where you go out in location, you shoot it, and infographic usually is has derived from photography, where you shoot something on white background and you add some kind of text to it. And then there are lots of agencies and creatives in the space that were offering this kind of services. And when we came into the market, we decided to think differently about images. So we don't divide them into infographics and lifestyle images. Instead, we have actually we asking this one question, and this question is, uh, what is the main message of this image? And when you start thinking from this perspective, suddenly you're getting much more options, not just infographic and lifestyle, but we have created a guide with over 100 image types on Amazon that you can have for a bit. Yes,
yeah,
you're
yeah. You can continue.
so, imagine you have lifestyle image and you have some text explaining the feature. So it's not clear, is it infographic or is it lifestyle? But if you ask the question, what is the main message of this image? And let's say it explains some kind of feature, then it's some kind of lifestyle feature image. It's not anymore infographic or lifestyle. So that's why we thought dividing them by context instead of by what you see is more valuable, because then you focus on building a story blocks,
Yeah,
not just thinking lifestyle or infographic. But I understand the question that you're asking, and my answer would be to have both, to have mix of images where you have infographics, and basically what I mean is basically, I would think it as a product isolated from everything else. From environment, you just focus on the product, and then you're explaining some kind of features. This helps to bring focus on the product. But lifestyle images, they go wider. They show environment. They show how this product can be used, and it helps to spark imagination on how it could help in your life. That brings a bit of human elements to the whole presentation. So it creates a good balance having both.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. So let's. Do you recommend anything about when we crafting our images? So do you recommend any resources to use? Just like we can use Bigfoot to check our listing quality, to check our images, CTR image conversion rate. So do you recommend any type of resources here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first of all, I would invest into understanding buyer intent. So there are like different
Yeah.
tools that can help with that. There's, for example, one tool that we use is 𝐤𝐸𝐿EX, and 𝐤𝐸𝐿EX is downloading. Basically, it's AI review analysis that can give you insights about what people are complaining about, what they like about the products, and you can do it just for your product to understand it, what people like and dislike about your product, what's their intention, use scenarios, different things you can get from there. And you can do the same for the whole niche. So you can select all your competitors, and then you would have a clear view on what people think about your product and what people generally think about this kind of products in the niche. And that will give you a very good view. Then I think the next thing driving your conversion up is like really focusing on that question on what's the main purpose of each image, and is it really the most important information that's going to convince someone to buy this product. So that's where again we come back to the salesmanship. So it's not that much about how it looks like. uh, yeah, it helps if it looks nice, but if it's missing context, if it's not built like your story, your claims are just as the same like everyone else's, you're not going to stand out that much, and it would you would just blend in. It's not like you're not going to get sales. You will still get sales, but you could really maximize your sales by really thinking about these things upfront. And then, only then, when you thought about it upfront and your images are based on buyer intent, then I would think about A/B testing. And the first thing I would try A/B testing is not actual images, but image order. Which image you're gonna start with, which image you're gonna end with. So we know that the second image is very important. Third, fourth, fifth, not that much, and the last one is also important because that's kind of a scroll stop. Like you can't move your mouse lower to find other images. And second image is because it follows after main image, and it's the one that the most people will check, and this is the first thing. They still kind of have this fresh mind perception about your product, and they would put more attention and focus looking at that second image. So I think by focusing on this second and last image and A/B testing what kind of images you're going to put there, you can test which features, or like which spotlight or highlight of your product would kind of convert more people. So I think that's one of the things you could test. You could test your image order, image types that you're going to put in this like first 6 images. And if nothing works, like you still think something is not working, you can use product opinion to get some video opinions Basically, you created a listing with in mind that it's going to sell you these specific features, and you can run this product opinion test where people would record screen and they would answer your questions. So you can ask them things like, okay, what features like important for you, or what's missing in the listing for you, and things like that. And then it would give you another kind of perspective from the side on what to improve, and you can compare how you were building a listing to how actually people perceive it. Sometimes you think, oh, I've put it there, it's very clear, they should see it, but sometimes, when you look how people shop, they miss things, or they make assumptions about your product without actually reading things. So that means you need to make something bigger, something smaller, and you can do these micro adjustments with these tests. And then you can run actual experiment where you do A/B testing. But as you see, the base of this testing is always intent on what you want to show, and is it clear enough? Is it simple enough for people to understand? Or maybe something is like there's maybe some kind of bad image that's putting people off of buying your product. That these all things you can do through investing into uh, tools that help you understand how people look at your listing. So that's my recommendation, what you can do, like in terms of tools and tests.
Yeah, you really describe into detail and deep down way how you can check it out. Everything is really informative. And let's go our last question about what the color psychology we can use to crafting our images, to crafting our creative on Amazon. Do you add something here to choose any color type that persuades your buyer?
Uh, so what kind of style we should? Sorry, I didn't understand the
Yeah,
question.
yeah, I can repeat. I can say when we do our creative on Amazon or anything, so the color psychology is the most important thing of any design. Yeah, you can get my point. So, what the main thing you can add here to choosing your branding color, to choosing your creative color here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there is a theory about colors. The different colors provoke different emotions, and it's linked to also our hormonal system. Like uh, looking at yellow, for example, it would make you more excited,
Yeah,
and I think it was producing oxytocin in your brain that kind of simulates as looking at sunshine or something like that. If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and there's like theory about colors. I think in general, it's this theory is more about single colors, using single colors, but there is not that much maybe in perspective of using color palettes. When there is like yellow mixed, for example, with black, it's gonna give you different feeling than yellow mixed with blue, for example. Yeah. So it goes much deeper than that, and the end benchmark, I would say, how you evaluate branding is what kind of feeling you're getting from that. So it's a bit subjective, but if you put your piece of work in front of, let's say, 50 people, and you ask them what kind of, and you say, you first you build branding with intent, what kind of emotion you want to build, and then you create it using some colors, and you ask people, hey, do you feel this, or you're not feeling this, or what do you feel when you look at this? And then you compare, does it align what you wanted to create with how people perceive it? So in design world, designers in general, creatives working on your listing, those who are really experienced, they can feel these things. That's uh, that's I think that expertise that you build over years on its ability to translate feelings through design. And maybe that's not something people think about when they hire designer, how good he can interpret feelings. But in the end, this is what branding is about, is when someone interacts with your listing, what kind of feeling, or what's the end assumption that they make about your brand based on the visuals that play. And it's not about colors only, it's about everything. It's about the font you use, the colors, it's about the shapes. Do you use rounded shapes or more square shapes? Um, it's about also minimalistic approach. Is it going to be more busy design or more clean, simple? So all these things they contribute to the end feeling, and I think my tip is to really think about these feelings beforehand. And when you work with creative team, tell them what kind of feeling you want this to produce. Because if it's just a brief where you give them, okay, I want to see someone cutting the bread, and there will be text that this is extra sharp knife, the same image can be executed in so many different feelings. It can look like Apple created this knife. It can look like IKEA created this knife. It can look like some garage sale where you're just selling your old knife. So, or you can sell it like some kind of knife that has been brought, through centuries passed from grandfather to grandfather. That there's some brand legacy behind it. The same product you can sell in different feelings. So when you work with creatives, it's important to understand what the feeling you want to project, and then build colors, fonts, shapes that would contribute to that feeling, and elements that you're gonna use. So yeah, I think it's about being creating design mindfully, not just thinking about basics like, okay, I have this image, let's add text to it, and that's it. Because when you create it, you also create feeling, and that's what branding is. That's what we came to conclusion on. That's what converts people. It's not what we put in images, it's how we present that information.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. So let's close the podcast here, and we really appreciate to having you here. And you really tell a very deep down inside about creative and emotion and persuasion, how you can make everything on your listing on your Amazon Creative is really informative things. We have a few comment here. I can show you what people are
Sure.
talk about. Generally, hey Vadim, I seriously like your idea of breaking the pattern of product. I saw your post about it and it's really valuable. Just I say you really describe very deeply. And we also have a Petrov comment. Don't focus only on one image, but create many variation to do A/B testing. And I think it's very good strategy. Yes, right. So, Vadim, thank you so much for being with us, and we really appreciate your time and effort you can putting on to our podcast. And thank you so much. And goodbye,
Yes,
everyone. And we will see you
thanks everyone
in the
for
next episode.
watching. Comments, yes, thank you very much. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
right.
great. So, goodbye, everyone. We will see you in the next episode.
Bye bye.